It's fanfic time! Get ready.
This is gonna be a treat for me. When I was requested to read this fanfic, I had to do a double take because of what the title of this fanfic was. And just telling you, I hate Twilight Sparkle. So, this fanfic is called I Hate You, Twilight Sparkle. This is gonna be nice. Hopefully. Let's start, shall we? Hatred. It's a chemical reaction in the brain that's triggered at the sight or thought of some foreign person, that made no sense, or thing that provokes extreme dislike. Or, very simply, it's not liking something more than anything else. It makes your blood boil, your head hurt, and your eyes twitch. Speaking from the heart, you can't stand whatever it is, no matter how much you try to rationalize why you shouldn't feel so negatively towards it. But you just do. And no one can stop you from disliking it so much. That's what hatred is. That's what Fleur? Is her name Fleur? Or Four? It's a French word, so I don't really know if I'm saying it right. But who cares? I'm gonna just say Fleur. I think it's Fleur. That's what Fleur feels every waking day. All because of one thing, one person. Look at her. Eyes of a hawk rested on the nervous rat within the halls. Twilight freaking Sparkle. The star of Crystal Prep. And most brilliant student, the worldwide. If I gotta do this kind of grammar, I'm gonna have a very bad time. Stood where she always did in the halls during the early morning. Her private room where she sequestered herself each day wouldn't be open for another hour. Much like every day. Every day is one word, not two, just go, point it out! Four knew because she wanted Twilight. Wait, she wanted Twilight? What? Where did I see that at? She wanted. There it is. That's the reason why she hates Twilight every single day. She has this undesirable want and need for Twilight Sparkle. That's why she's such hatred towards her. She wants her. Anyways. Flora knew because she watched Twilight each morning and each afternoon and the evenings as she went home after school, then back to the mornings again. Just standing there. The eyes narrowed with menace, trying to slay the little thing with imaginary daggers. Like every time is one word! Anyways, like every time she tried to do... every word! Like every time she tried to do it. Fleur's daggers never succeeded in putting Twilight down. Instead, it just made the nerdy creature glance over at her visual assailant and her nerds. The little nerds contorted into some disgusting display as she mimicked what normal people would call smiling. Only when normal people like Fleur smiled. They looked normal. When Twilight did it, it was only a face a mother could love. Some would call it cute and sheepish. The smile of someone without a friend in the world, but trying her darnest to get one. Those people are the mother mentioned before. You bun-headed geek! Flora balled her hand into a fist that she kept at her side. Violence wouldn't solve her problems, even if she does use it on Twilight regularly. Purposely ribbing her in the halls, ow, scarfing her shoes whenever they pass each other. That time she took a croquette to Twilight's kneecaps, ow, but she wouldn't hit her. Instead, she would take the high road and flip her head at the shabby little thing and turn away, snobbing her. Snobbing? The heck? What's a snobbing? Sure enough, Twilight sulked against herself and took to holding the straps of her backpack in defeat. A flawless victory. Feel it, Twilight Sparkle! Feel my unbridled hate for you. In rapture at her rising victories in destroying Twilight's holler than though ego, Fleur nearly missed the chime over the intercom to signal passing period was nearly over. That would mean Twilight will be slinking off into her lair soon. And she wouldn't see her until she had to crawl out of the shadows for food. It made no difference either way. Fleur always has something more important to do than watch Twilight sparkle. For now, Fleur would take her business to class, where normal people go to learn. She took one final look towards that nappy Twilight Sparkle. Though, when she looked, she saw Dean Cadence gracing Twilight's hideout. And the Dean was too nice. Spending even a physical moment with Twilight Sparkle was punishment enough on the bus for all of the well-adjusted students like Fleur. Yet, there she was, voluntarily spending extended time with the nerd. Some people just have hearts of gold, and then there's Twilight, who just has a heart filled with dark matter, looking to suck up everything good and decent in the world, simply to destroy it. Are we talking about the same freaking pony? Like, whoa! Is this the same Twilight Sparkle that I know? Because this is like, what? The thought put a hard pit in Flora's gut, and she took herself as far as she could from Twilight, her classroom. Which admittedly wasn't that far away in a spatial sense. But walls and doors between Flora and the girl with dark matter in her heart was good enough until a restraining order could be accepted. For whatever reason, the courts kept declining. Wow, she actually went on and tried to do it. The courts kept declining Fleur requests to have Twilight Sparkle at least 5 miles away from her person at all times. Eventually, the courts would see it her way. They just needed to understand Twilight the way Fleur did. She's a horrid person. She never even says sorry for that mallet she broke on her knee. Is that a reference to the movie? Or to the show? For the first moments of the day, much like every day before, her mind started to grow free of her most hated enemy. Flora could focus on her fourth love, education. Education being behind her beauty, but in front of gardening, her first and second love changed at the day. On one day it was hating Twilight Sparkle and everything she believes in. On other days it was her family. While she hated Twilight Sparkle more than life itself, her family mattered. Just sometimes less so than wanting Twilight Sparkle to fall off a cliff while she videotapes it. But there was that thought again. Twilight Sparkle. Even when she was trying to gain a good education and focus on what makes her happy, that bunhead has to go and ruin it, like she ruins everything. Just thinking about her stupid, nerdy bunhead reminded Flora of that day. The day Twilight Sparkle, oh no, there's no sparkle there, ruined her life and showed the sort of crap person she truly was. That memory burned deep into her subconscious. A deep burn that all the therapists and psychoanalysts that money can buy can't seem to reason out of her. The wording in this fanfic really screws with my head. Thinking about that day was interrupted when she heard a distant sound over her own thoughts. From outside her classroom, without asking the teacher or giving a word, Flora stood up and went to the little window that looked out into the hall. When she looked, she knew exactly why that sound sparked her attention so quickly. Twilight Sparkle, squirrely little nerd that she was, had been walking through the hall singing. Singing in the halls? Of all the things she could be doing, she was singing in the halls? And for some ungodly reason, she poked her face near the window, looking into the classroom. Still singing. For the love of... Flora silently fumed, like she always did. She quickly and quietly drew the curtain down over the window, shutting Twilight Sparkle out from looking into the room. The only good thing to come out of seeing her annoying face again was seeing the look of dismay she made when Flora took the curtain down. That almost made up for Flora having to see her. Almost. It's always her singing in the halls. Who sings randomly? Twilight does. Attention-loving bunhead. Now, even returning to her education, her mind swarmed with images of that woman. For years, every one of her doctors, her parents sent her to try to diffuse her hate towards Twilight Sparkle, if for no other reason than to have her more focused on school or her clubs or getting a date. But the fires of hate are not so easily doused, and Flora's hatred was among the greatest blazes in all the world. A fire born from one action many years ago. The single act brought by betrayal, spite, and all sorts of wicked feelings that only Twilight Sparkle could find a way to birth. She would never forget that day, nor how Twilight Sparkle flaunts their feud each day. Now we're about to see what caused this. So, I've been thinking of wearing my hair in a sort of top bun. What do you think, Sugarcoat? I think you talk to me because you have no other people to talk to. No other people to talk to. No other person! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get all mad. I'm not feeling any hatred toward the fanfic's grammar and wording and phrases. I'm not hearing a no. I'll wear it tomorrow and change hairstyling in crystal prep. That's how you spell crystal for the ages. Oh, Floor. That sounds like it'll look great. You think, Twilight? Maybe you should try it sometime. The very next day, they both showed up to school sporting what's now Twilight Sparkle's signature hairstyle. The fires of hate do not easily forget such an act, especially when the other keeps wearing that hairstyle. But one day will come when Twilight will finally get the message through her stupid, nerdy, geeky bun head, even if Flora needs to break her other kneecap with another mallet. What? But for now, ribbing her and snobbing her will do the job. For Floor never shall forget the day she was made to look like a nerd. I hate you, Twilight Sparkle. This is the most stupidest fanfic ever. I have to say one thing. I have hatred for this fanfic because I expected more. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. This is a somewhat okay fanfic. I'm okay with it. Anyways, that's it for now. See you, dudes. Thanks for watching.